Very good morning, children. I am Deepa, your physical science teacher from Dr. B Science School. Okay, children, how are you all? Hope all are fine. Good. Now, in these videos, we are not going to learn any new topics. Then what we are going to learn? We are going to do the revision for our exam. As we discussed, as we informed you, for your exam, we are going to do the revision on the chapter heat and temperature. Shall we do the revision? You all are ready? So for doing this revision, you should be ready with your textbook and your notes which you have written, your question answers and all you wrote or not. So please be ready with all the books, children. Then we will start doing the revision. Revision in the sense what I am going to do now. See, from this chapter, heat and temperature, every topic like a summary. Once again, I am going to explain you just briefly as like a summary. I will explain you. Okay, children. Just we will go through that. Once my explanation is over, you will read the textbook as well as your notes, which will be easy for you to write your exam well. Shall we start? Right. Now, what is the chapter? Heat and temperature. So, what is temperature? Before going to that, here stepping stones is given. Shall we see that? If we sip a hot tea and a cold drink, will there be any difference between these two? Yes. Hot tea you will feel as hot, whereas the drink you will feel as cool. So, why heat flows out of the body? When you take a cool drink, the heat from the body will flows out of your body and you will feel cool. Okay, sorry children, small disturbance. 1 minute. Okay, right. So you will feel cool when you take a cool drink because the heat from the body will leaves outside, will goes outside, will travels outside as you are taking the drink which is low temperature than your body. Okay, so already we learned that heat flows from hot body to cold body. So the heat will flows out of your body and you will feel cold. Whereas when you sip a hot tea, what is happening? Your body temperature is less than the tea temperature. So heat is flowing from the tea to your body. So heat is entering into your body. So you will feel hot. This is what about the flow of heat which we have learned. So heat gives sensation of hotness or coldness to the body. So what is heat? As we learned, heat is a form of energy. It is a form of energy that flows from high temperature body to low temperature body. Now, what is temperature? Next topic is temperature. What is temperature? What is temperature? Temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness of a body. It is the degree of hotness or coldness of a body. It is temperature is used to measure the hotness or coldness of a body. So a device used to measure this temperature is thermometer. Temperature is to measure the degree of hotness or coldness of a body. Temperature is used to measure the degree of hotness or coldness of a body, and a device used to measure the temperature is called thermometer. We already learned that. And thermometer works on the principle of thermal expansion. Thermal expansion, which implies that matter expands on heating and contracts on cooling. Matter expands on heating, it will increases its level and it will contracts on cooling. So there are different substances used in the thermometer. The most used liquid in the thermometer is yes, mercury. Generally, mercury and alcohol are used for as a liquid in the thermometer. Why only mercury? Why not water or anything? Yes, we learned the characteristics of mercury. So mercury is used as thermometer liquid because of the following advantages. The main one is shows uniform rate of expansion with the rise in temperature. As the temperature rises, the mercury will expand uniformly and it does not stick to the walls of the glass tube. It will not stick to the wall. If it sticks to the walls of the glass tube, it can't show the reading properly. Mercury will not stick to the walls of the glass tube. And mercury is an opaque and shiny substance. Opaque means which allows the light to pass. So it is, sorry, which do not allow the light to pass. Opaque means which do not allow the light to pass. Mercury is opaque and also it is shiny. Hence it is easily visible. And mercury has high boiling point. Hence it can be used over a wide range of temperature. These are the advantages and these are the main characteristics which is reason for using mercury in a thermometer as a liquid. Next one is scales of temperature. How many scales of temperature we learned? 3 scales of temperature. What are they? Celsius scale, Kelvin scale and Fahrenheit scale. Isn't it? So there are 3 units of temperature. They are degree Celsius, degree Fahrenheit and Kelvin. So there are 3 different temperature scales. So this temperature scale is defined by 2 fixed points. The difference between the 2 temperatures is further divided into certain number of divisions. Coming to Celsius scale, most commonly used scale to measure the temperature. Dash is the most commonly used scale to measure the temperature. What you should write? It is Celsius scale. Celsius scale is most commonly used scale to measure the temperature. It was devised by Anders Celsius. Who devised the Celsius scale? Okay, children, so we are discussing about Celsius scale, isn't it? So, dash is the most commonly used scale for measuring the temperature is Celsius scale. And this Celsius scale was devised by dash, Andreas Celsius. On this scale, the melting point of pure water is taken as 0 degrees Celsius and boiling point of water is taken as 100 degrees Celsius. So the range of this scale is, so how many types of scales we discussed? 3 types of scales. One is Celsius scale. Most commonly used, this is most commonly used and it was devised by Anders Celsius and the range of this scale is, what is its range? 0 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius, melting point of water to boiling point of water. So totally it has divided into 100 equal parts, which each part is 1 degree Celsius. Okay, this is about Celsius scale. And the next scale is Fahrenheit scale. Fahrenheit scale. You should be thorough with the spellings, children. There should be no spelling mistake. Okay, Fahrenheit scale. And this scale was devised by, it was devised by Gabriel Fahrenheit. Gabriel Fahrenheit. And on this scale, the range of this scale is, its range is range is from 32 degrees Fahrenheit to 212 degrees Fahrenheit. 32 degrees Fahrenheit to 212 degrees Fahrenheit, and that interval between two fixed points on this scale is divided into 180 equal parts, which each part is 1 degree Fahrenheit. For this scale, each part is 1 degree Celsius and here 1 degree Fahrenheit. Here total how many divisions? 100 divisions. Here 180 divisions. Okay children, and the third scale is Kelvin scale. The third scale is Kelvin scale, and this Kelvin scale was invented by Lord Kelvin. It was invented by Lord Kelvin, and this Kelvin is the SI unit of temperature. On this scale, the range of the readings range is from 273 Kelvin to 373 Kelvin. 273 Kelvin to 373 Kelvin, which is 100 equal parts, and each part is 1 Kelvin. This is about the three scales. And also there is interconvention between the scales, which we have learned, which is very important, right? What is that interconventions? C by 100 equal to F minus 32 by 180 equal to K minus 273 by 100. So using this, we can do the conversions from Celsius to Kelvin, Kelvin to Celsius, Celsius to Fahrenheit, Fahrenheit to Celsius. In the same way, Fahrenheit to Kelvin, like that, by using this formula, which we have already done many problems, which is very, very important. So you should be thorough with this formula, so that any conversions you can do easily. Compulsory you will get 1 or 2 bits on these conversions in your exam. So you will prepare thorough these conversions. Okay children. So for converting Celsius into Fahrenheit or Fahrenheit into Celsius, you will use the formula C by 100 equal to F minus 32 by 180. Whereas from Fahrenheit to Kelvin or Kelvin to Fahrenheit, F minus 32 by 180 equal to K minus 273 by 100. And for converting from Celsius to Kelvin or Kelvin to Celsius, C equal to K minus 273. Using this formula, we can do the conversions which are already done. Clear children? And now next comes our next topic, types of thermometers. How many types of thermometers we learned? Mainly 3 types. What are they? Clinical thermometer, digital thermometer and laboratory thermometer. You have seen all the thermometers also. I have shown in that video, isn't it? So clinical thermometer is used for what purpose? Is used to measure the temperature of human body. Dash is used to measure the temperature of human body. As clinical thermometer. It ranges from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. The readings, minimum and maximum readings on clinical thermometer is 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius, because the temperature of a human body varies only within this range. A clinical thermometer consists of a long and narrow glass tube, and one end of this tube is sealed and the other end has a glass bulb which is filled with mercury. Okay, and the main important part for this clinical thermometer, what we have discussed, is kink. What is that? Kink, K-I-N-K, kink or constriction. What is the use of this? It is, where is this? It is in the glass tube just above the mercury bulb. It protects for the mercury not to flow down. Okay, it is useful for seeing the reading carefully, observing the reading. Once we observe the reading, then we will give a jerk. Then the mercury will flows and comes and enters into the bulb from the kink. So the kink helps, protects or stops the flow of mercury back into the bulb. Okay children, right. And if a person has, okay, so what is the temperature of a healthy person? The normal body temperature of a healthy person is dash Normal body temperature of healthy person is dash 37 degrees Celsius or 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, this is about clinical thermometer. So, while handling this clinical thermometer, some precautions should be taken. What is that? It should be washed with antiseptic solution before and after use. Why, children? Yes, you know that clinical thermometer is placed either under the tongue or in the armpit. The places where there is chances to have a lot of virus, bacteria, isn't it? So when once it is used for one person and directly if it is placed to another person, what will happen? This bacteria will reaches to other person. So after for one person it is checked, it should be cleaned with the antiseptic solution to kill the bacteria what is formed on that thermometer, and it is made up of glass, so we should handle with care. Okay, and we should ensure that the level of mercury in the capillary tube must be at a minimum temperature, that is 35 degrees Celsius. And another type of thermometer is digital thermometer. What is the use of this? It is also used to measure the body temperature, but the main advantage is digital thermometer do not consist of mercury in it. We all know that mercury is a toxic substance, isn't it? By any means, if suppose the mercury enters into the body, it is dangerous. So by using digital thermometer, we will not have such harm. Okay, children? So this is about digital thermometer, and it has a plastic body and it consists of a thermistor which is used to sense the temperature and it shows the reading digitally. So it is called digital thermometer, and the information is read on an LCD, liquid crystal display, where the temperature is displayed in numerical values. And another type of thermometer is laboratory thermometer. What for laboratory thermometer is used? As to find the readings of bodies, hot bodies or objects in the lab. So used in the laboratories to measure the temperature of hot bodies or cold bodies. Okay, and its range is from minus 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. And these thermometers can be used in various fields such as pharmaceuticals, environmental, food and petroleum testing. Now, how to read a thermometer? Hold the thermometer at eye level. Exactly at the eye level you should hold the thermometer to make the reading easier. And rotate the thermometer back and forth until the mercury in the shaft is clearly visible. We should rotate the thermometer until the mercury level is clearly visible for you, holding like this, and identify the marking that is closest to where the mercury in the shaft stops. So mercury will expand up to certain reading and it will stop there. So that reading carefully observe that gives the reading of that object or that body. This is about temperature, scales of temperature and types of thermometers. Am I clear, children? Now coming to our next topic is heat. But before going to the next topic, here track your progress. Already we have discussed it. First one is problems which we have done. So we practice the problems, and second one is blanks is there. Fill in the blanks. Say page number 46. The thermometer whose range is minus 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius is dash. Laboratory thermometer. The thermometer whose range is 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius is, as it is clinical thermometer. Dash is present in clinical thermometer to prevent the backflow of mercury. As it is kink, like a curve it will be there, you have seen. Kink or constriction. And the temperature of healthy human body is dash degrees Celsius. 37. It is 37 degrees Celsius. In Celsius he asked. He did not ask in Fahrenheit. Am I clear, children? Now coming to our next topic is heat. So already we have discussed what is heat. Heat is a form of energy which that always flows from a body at high temperature to a body at low temperature. And this heat flow will continues till both the bodies reach to the same temperature, means until both the bodies are in equilibrium. Okay, and at what is meant by equilibrium temperature? The heat flow continues till both the bodies reach the same temperature. This temperature is known as equilibrium temperature. And which is the natural source of heat energy to the earth? Yes, it is sun. Okay, and next activity is given. Very important. 2 glasses of half fill with them with cold water and transfer the contents of 1 glass into narrow vessel and heat it on a flame. Drop a few iron nails in the boiling water and leave it for some time. Ask an adult to use the pair of tongs to pick up the iron nails and drop it in the beaker having cold water. What will happen? Iron nails will lose the heat, whereas that cold water will gain the heat. Why? Iron nails is at high temperature, so heat transfers from iron nails to cold water. Okay, from this we can understand that the heat will transfers from high temperature body to low temperature body. And what are the units of heat? Most commonly used units are joule and calorie. SI unit of heat is joule and CGS unit is calorie. What is meant by SI unit? SI means standard international unit. International wise used unit is joule. Okay, and what is meant by calorie? Very important. 1 calorie is the amount of heat required, heat energy required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water through 1 degree Celsius. To increase the temperature of water to 1 degree Celsius, how much heat energy is required? That is called 1 calorie. And is there any relation between calorie and joules? Yes, what is the relation? 1 calorie equal to 4.18 joules, or approximately we can take it as 4.2 joules. This is the relation between calorie and joule. 4.1 calorie equal to 4.2 joules. Am I clear, children? Next, general effects of heat. Heat brings about change in temperature. That is one effect. Heat brings the change in the temperature, means when we supply heat to any solid, liquid or gaseous substance, its temperature will increases. Similarly, if a hot material gives out its heat energy, if any material loses the heat, then what will happen? Its temperature falls. That is the first effect of heat. Second effect, heat can bring changes in dimensions. What is meant by dimensions? Like length, breadth, volume and all. Okay. See, when we increase the temperature of a substance, its dimensions such as length, area and volume increases. So heat gives more energy to the particles that enables them to move faster and away from each other. So the particles take more space, which results in increase in the volume of the substance. So when heating a substance, the particles will increase the energy and they'll move far from each other. That makes to increase the length of the substance. So the increase in size of an object on heating is called, very important, the increase in size of object upon heating is called dash. It is called thermal expansion. What is it called? Thermal expansion. Similarly, when hot bodies give out heat energy, it cools and its dimensions will decrease. So bodies expand on heating and contract on cooling. Expansion in solids. Solids have a definite shape and their particles are closely packed. So it shows all 3 types of expansion. What is that all 3 types? Linear expansion means expanding lengthwise. Superficial expansion, increase in area. And cubical expansion, that is increase in volume. So expansion in solids will be in all 3 types. Linear expansion, superficial expansion and cubical expansion. What are the applications of these expansions in solids? Iron rim is heated before being fitted on the tires. The resulting expansion enables the rim to be slipped easily over the wheel, allows to go over the wheel. Okay. Next, small gaps are left between the railway tracks. You all know railway tracks, no? Small gaps are left. Why that gaps? Already we discussed in hot summer season. Because of that heat, what will happen to this? Railway tracks are made up of metal which will absorb the heat quickly, and what will happen? They will expand. So the gaps are there, they can expand and touch each other. For that reason, gaps are left. And thick walled glass tumbler sometimes cracks when boiled water is poured into it. Why? Glass materials will get a crack when heated because of expansion of the particles, but glass is not stretchable, isn't it? As it is not stretchable, it will get the break. Next is expansion in liquids. Liquids do not have a definite shape, but they have a definite volume. So only it shows the expansion in volume, that is only cubical expansion. Solids, all three types of expansion takes place. What are the three types? Linear expansion, superficial expansion and cubical expansion. Whereas liquids do not have a definite shape, but they have a fixed volume, so it will have only superficial expansion. Cubical expansion. Liquids will show only cubical expansion, means there will be increase only in the volume. Like water or milk, if you place on the stove, after some time it will be coming up, isn't it? Because that is what? Cubical expansion. In liquids, the particles are less tightly packed than solids. So on heating, they vibrate more vigorously. Very fastly they will vibrate. Now, so these liquids will vibrate more than a solid. Okay. Next, application of expansions in liquids. So when a clinical thermometer is kept in contact with a hot body, mercury inside it will expand or not and rises. In the same way, when heating liquids such as milk, they will overflow, as we discussed now. All these are applications of expansions in liquids. Now expansion in gases. Gases have no definite shape but have definite volume in an enclosed vessel. So when gases are heated, they also will show cubical expansion. So this gaseous expansion is more than solids and liquids because the particles are very far from each other. So application of expansion in gases, hot air balloons. You all know hot air balloons. That what is that? Hydrogen balloons and all, which will fly up and up. So the balloon expands due to heating. The air rises in the balloon and pushes the colder air outside. Thus the balloon gets filled with hotter expanded air. As the air inside the balloon less dense than the air outside, it rises up in the air. As it completely the balloon filled with hot air, cold air came outside, its density is less than this cold air, so it will go up and up. And next, heat brings about change in state. First one is change in temperature, next changes in dimensions, and now change in state. Means a liquid is heated, its temperature increases and converts into gaseous state. And solid is heated, its temperature rises and converts into liquid state. That is what change in the state. Example, ice cubes. Okay, when they are heated, they will convert into liquid. And that liquid is water. And if the water is heated, boiled, it converts into gas, water vapor. That is what change in state. Am I clear, children? Now, track your progress, page number 48, third one, fill in the blanks. After absorbing heat, liquids convert into dash, vapors. 1 calorie equal to dash joules, 4.2 joules. Liquids show only dash expansion. Only cubical expansion, as they do not have a definite shape. Am I clear, children? You all understood? So in the next video, we will learn the methods of heat transfer. Okay? Thank you, children.